Trash talking is a staple in mixed martial arts. It's something that gets us as fans excited and also gets the fighters ready to do battle fired up. There are times athletes go too far when they bring up religion, families, things that should just not be mentioned. And other times some athletes are just too soft. In this video I've decided to talk about the softest of them all, Anthony Smith, and why I don't think he's as nice as he claims to be or makes himself out to be. Don't get me wrong, when it comes to his ability in the ring, the boy can bang. But other than that, to me his persona seems kind of fake, and here's why. Let's talk about it. After Anthony Smith recently made his debut at light heavyweight, the then champion Daniel Cormier stated that he might be interested in defending his title against the former champion Shogun Rua, who was scheduled to fight Anthony Smith if he could secure the win against him. Feeling dismissed, Anthony Smith took offense to it. Seeing as he was new to the division, I don't know why, but here was his reaction.
My only issue, it was being dismissed as if I didn't matter, as if I was some gimme fight to Shogun, and I don't care who you are. I'll make a fight with anybody. It doesn't matter who you put me in there with, whether it's, I'll fight Brock Lesnar and I'll make a fight out of it. You know what I mean? It's going to be exciting to watch, and I'll be in there every second. But that was where it annoyed me, and part of it is for DC to pretend like he's such a good dude and then always complain about being overlooked and people not taking him seriously and giving him the credit that he deserves. He's pretty quick to do it to me, and I don't even know if he did it on purpose, but that's the whole point. The whole point is that he, not even realizing, completely dismissed the fact that Shogun still has to fight me. So, I mean, what does that say about how DC feels about, the sport as a whole? Like, there's no gimme fights here, and he, better than anybody, should know that. So that's where that came from, and it's just, I work too goddamn hard, and I've been in this sport for way too long, and I've been in too many tough fights, and I lay my heart out there on the line, man. I leave a piece of myself with every single person I fight because of the way that I fight. And for him just to be like, well, I'll just fight Shogun when he's done with that fight, that's bullshit, and I think that DC, whether or not he'll say this or admit it, deep down when he hears me talk, he knows I'm right, and he knows that's a scumbag move. It's I don't know. I just don't like it, and I've never done that to anyone else, and that's the part of me that's where I see the difference. Like, I would never dismiss anybody, I don't look past anybody. I don't take anything away from anybody. Everybody's dangerous here.
When people know they can get under your skin, especially in the fight game, they will do anything to get an advantage over you. Enter Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold is not someone I would consider the best trash talker, but he is a troll, and it was very easy for him to get under Anthony's skin.
Light these guys up. You got guys making waves at light heavyweight that they're somewhat laughable. A couple of middleweight washouts reaching into the top 10 within a few fights. It's the division is open. I'm ready to feast.
Are you talking about Anthony Smith? Because he's the guy that came up from middleweight, and he's obviously made some waves at 205.
Anthony Smith, yeah. I mean, Santos came up just recently too. I mean, These guys are. I'm just not impressed. Not impressed, man. These guys are. They're a little sloppy in so many ways, and I see openings, and I'm ready to move up. I mean, the rest of the division, there's a couple good guys up there, and but I don't see much, and I'm ready to come up, and I'm ready to shut it down.
Because Anthony Smith was actually talking to the media recently, and he believes he deserves the next title shot over whoever wins between Jones and Gustafsson. What do you think about that?
On what? On what basis? No. He looked like shit. He didn't look good his last fight. I'm not going to say. He looked like a bum.
Of your performance against Jon.
That guy's a fucking piece of shit. Fuck Luke Rockhold. The first opportunity I get, I'm going to drill a hole through Luke Rockhold's fucking face. I promise you guys that.
Regardless of what happens in this fight, is that who you want next?
The first opportunity I get after this fight, doesn't matter what happens. I'll fight Luke Rockhold with one fucking leg. I'm going to beat that dude's fucking ass.
Yeah, what do you say to him? He threatened you. He said you're a piece of shit. He said a whole bunch of other mean, not nice things about you. What's your reaction?
The truth hurts. I don't know. I mean, some people just can't take the truth, and that's a problem. I always tell it. You know, the kid runs his mouth. He gets all bent out of shape like a rookie. Truth hurts, baby. Truth hurts.
Now, he says no matter what happens, if he has one leg, he's going to fight you and, punch a hole through you. And he seems set on fighting you after his fight coming up here.
You better focus on the fight coming up because my opinion is he's about to get his ass kicked. So go out there and go take your ass whooping and come talk to me afterwards. I don't think much of Anthony Smith. I don't think he's very tough, technical, talented. He ain't got what it takes.
What would a fight with Anthony Smith look like?
And to be an embarrassment to Anthony Smith.
Him drilling a hole in your face is not in the plans.
He's not going to be drilling nothing. I will own that kid from start to finish, anywhere he wants to go. He's not really on my radar. I'm gonna go do my thing, and I'll enjoy watching him get beat up.
After someone had broken into Anthony's home, he did a 30-minute interview with Ariel Helwani detailing this traumatic experience. Now, don't get me wrong, having someone break into your house where your wife and kids are sleeping could be a very scary thing. But upon first contact, it wouldn't take long for a 200-plus pound Anthony Smith to subdue his adversary. He then went on about how strong this individual was and how he couldn't put him away, but Ariel asked him a pretty simple question that I'm pretty sure we were all asking ourselves.
Trying to save your family here, right? And he just wouldn't go away. Did you try to choke him out? Did you, I've heard these stories before of home invasion. What were you trying to do to actually stop him from getting up and doing whatever?
You think, like, when you think about this, like, you hear a story.
Why didn't you just choke him unconscious?
That's a legit point. Why wouldn't you just choke the fuck out of him?
Yeah, I'm smaller than him. He said the guy was like 170 pounds, and the guy took everything he could throw at him.
Maybe he's on meth.
Said no normal human being is able to fight like that. He said, I am by no means the baddest dude on the planet. Listen, he's top 100.
Oh, dude.
Out of all the humans on the planet, Anthony Smith is one of the top 100 baddest motherfuckers that's walking the earth. But he's a regular Joe, and I had a hard time dealing with him, and he took everything I gave him, every punch, every knee, every elbow. He took every single one of them and kept fighting me. He said there was blood all over the computer, and Haberman was cut and had swelling on his face. Yeah.
But he didn't land anything on Anthony. Anthony just beat the shit out of him. This guy took it.
But the guy took it. The fact that the guy only weighed 170 pounds, and it says Smith fights at 205 pounds. He's walking around 230 easy.
Oh, yeah.
And he's smashing this dude that's, a legit 60 pounds lighter than him, which is crazy.
What it sounded like to me is that this dude beat the intruder to a pulp. He threw the kitchen sink at this man's face. He probably put him in a crucifix and just rained down elbows till this man's face was swollen. And instead of just saying he whooped this man, mauled him, destroyed him, he hid under the guise of how powerful this man was. He was on drugs, and fair enough. Let's avoid legal troubles, right? Imagine breaking into somebody's house and realizing it's Anthony Smith. A very sobering thought, wouldn't you say? Now this part I find really funny, and just reinforce in my mind how soft this dude is. After his home invasion, Jon Jones reached out, and somehow Anthony Smith took this opportunity to try and villainize Jon Jones.
Did kind of reach out and tweeted about my whole situation. Someone said something and it said something like, I'm glad Anthony's okay. That guy wouldn't have walked out of my house. So it's like, what a perfect moment to flex, John. Like, in the middle of a disaster like that, in my home. Like, what a perfect opportunity to flex at how goddamn cool you are. Like, just when you thought, oh man, that's pretty admirable of Jon Jones to reach out, and well wish me. And then as you continue to read it, you're like, oh, that's right. I forgot you're still a fucking douchebag. Like, it's just his opportunity to insert himself and make sure everybody knows how cool and badass he is. Like, you know, for a second, I thought I was going to have to respond and say, hey, thanks, man, I appreciate it. And then you continue reading, you're like, oh, yeah. Just for a second, I thought.
A little dig in there.
Yeah, just for a second, I thought you were human and like you had a soul. And then I realized, you're still the same piece of shit that you've always been. You know, whatever.
Just for a second, I thought you were human and you had a soul. Really? Really? That's where we're going with this? Think about it. How many times has a friend told you a story and every time you said, damn, if that was me, I would have killed that guy? I don't know if this was a form of manipulation, if he was really hurt by this, or if he really thought that this was offensive. After getting the living shit kicked out of him in maybe the most one-sided and most brutal beatings I have ever seen against Glover Teixeira, to the point where his teeth fell out, he went on air and stated that if any of his cornermen threw in the towel, he would have fired them. These are people that care for your well-being, people who want to see you fight another day. Even for someone who has no attachment to him, that was probably one of the hardest things to watch. I'm not saying I dislike Anthony Smith, but these are just behaviors of a man who seems very emotional and self-conscious when he shouldn't be. Luke Rockhold is the ultimate troll who karma always finds some way to punish. But say what you want about Luke, he is the ultimate professional. I think Anthony is a badass motherfucker and I'd like to see him peel the layers of his persona. People only started liking Jon Jones when they accepted his role as a villain and gave us the real. Maybe this is the real Anthony Smith, who knows, but I think that there's more that meets the eye, and I'd like to see it. Thank you for watching. I hope you like it, rate, subscribe, tell me what you think. So this is like my first time making a video like this. I don't know, I'd like to make more. Depends, you know, if people like it, if people like this type of content, I definitely will. I'll leave my socials in the description, and I hope this finds you well, to be honest.